It's the Edible Valley podcast. We've been gone for a good long while, so we've got such a good podcast for you. My name's William Stringer.
And I'm Chef Jonathan Frazier, and today we're heading back to the classroom, and I'm coming to you from another amazing valley here on Vancouver Island.
Welcome to the Edible Valley podcast.
We want to invite you as we embark on a culinary journey through the heart of Vancouver Island.
From the fertile fields
to the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean.
We'll explore the stories behind the food that nourishes us.
Tune in to each episode as we deep dive into the flavors, the traditions, and the innovations that make this a true paradise.
Now please join us as we explore our Edible Valley.
So, if you didn't notice, John is on the phone. We've probably been sat here for 30 minutes with me trying to remember how to patch through a phone on the radio station, because we are in 98.9 Jet FM in their state-of-the-art downtown Courtenay studio. How to do all that without accidentally going out on air. John, we're probably not on air. Is that...
I'm just thinking about how many times you just made me read out the alphabet.
Testing, John. Do the alphabet up to M.
For
the first time, you kind of started in song, so you can tell that you're a father, you know, because you've obviously sung that song, but you're like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I.
It's true. I wanted to sing to you, and I was like, this is really weird.
It's not the first time you've serenaded me, John. It won't be the last.
That is totally true.
Okay, another thing I'm going to tell you as well is I don't know how to do this without the radio playing in my ear. So I've also got the Comox Valley's Best Rock, to be fair, playing in my ear whilst I'm talking about food in Port Alberni. I've just kind of, spoiler alert, given away where you are. But anyway, so if I sound a little odd, yes, I am odd, but I've also got Jet FM playing loudly in one of my ears.
We all know that, Will, so it's not a big surprise.
Well, it's an absolute treat. What can I say? So, John, you've been away in the Alberni Valley now for quite a while. Alberni Valley, just a few hours from Tofino and Euclid Coast. How are you doing out there?
I am, you know what? I'm having some good times here, actually. I'm really impressed by the community here. And even more exciting, I've got an absolutely incredible class of cooking students here who are doing their professional cook level 1. And I'm just actually floored by what they're able to accomplish and sort of the fun things we get to do around the school here. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to maybe talk a little bit about what's happening in my little Roger Street Bistro here at the Culinary building in North Island College.
I'd love to hear about it. So, first of all, the name of the bistro, what's it called again, please?
It's the Roger Street Bistro.
Okay, fantastic.
Why? Because we're on Roger Street.
Roger Street.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so sorry, I've got Brian Adams in my ear. Okay, now bistro. What days is it open? Is it like a full-time thing, or is it just like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays?
We are just open. We're open for 3 days a week. So basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we're only open for lunch. So it's really 11:30 till 1 o'clock. And every day the menu is changing. So every day we work on a different setup, different food that's going to be coming out. And all the food is prepared and put together by the students.
Oh, that's amazing.
I get to put the recipes together. I put together a sort of a simple menu so that they get some experience at different cooking techniques, right? So it's sort of moving on. So we'll do some sauteing here. We'll do some braising over there. You know, we're just moving around that technique to each and everyone. So they get a real sort of sense of what it's like to do all these different aspects. It's a lot of fun.
These students, is there a head chef? Do they switch who's the head chef, and then the next day that person's dish pit? Or does someone else do the ordering? Is it that kind of thing?
Well, William, I'm the head chef there.
Oh, ooh. All right. So you're always the head chef. And then what
I'm
happens
always the head
beneath
chef.
you?
But what happens is they move around the kitchen, and so they all work in different areas. So basically, they'll start out they're in groups. Like I have 11 students, right? So I'll have two of them are in the baking section. So they're baking all of the breads
Okay.
because a lot of the breads we're using are going to, or for all of our projects. So like hamburger buns and baguette, as well as they're doing a bunch of little treats like muffins, scones, all of those kind of a little bit of repercussion. They get to practice all of those dishes over and over again. Then all of those products go out and get served. And so, yeah, we have the baking section. I have a short order section, which is sort of putting together like sort of little lunchier meals, like things that are like we'll do like a steak sandwich, or we'll do a macaroni and cheese, and a shepherd's pie. Those kind of items, maybe a lasagna one day. I have a classic sandwich and soup, and they take care of making all the soups for us for the day. So it's 3 different soups that they have to come up with. So one day will be a broth, one will be a puree, one will be a cream soup. So they get to practice on those techniques. And then we're going to work with a salad and warm sandwich every day. And so we'll have it could be anything from a grilled chicken Caesar salad to a chickpea or a quinoa Mediterranean bowl, a Greek salad with some sort of protein on it, as well as a warm sandwich. So it can be anything from a croque madame, or it could be a Philly cheesesteak, right? Like we just mix it up all the time, and they get a chance to play with different foods.
Are you on TripAdvisor or Google reviews or anything like that? I'm just trying to work out how much of a normal restaurant this is and how much of it is just almost like, where is the line? Education versus standalone business. Is it not for profit or is it making money?
I said we're not. No, we're super. Everything is like I'm not worried about labor cost or that. So a lot of our prices are super cheap. Nothing on our menu is over $15.
Oh, really?
Right. So my goal is customers that come in to order the feed are not my priority. Even though
Oh,
the students get a chance to interact with them, my priority is the students and their ability to learn. Right.
okay.
So it's a training kitchen. They make mistakes. Not every dish is going to be absolutely perfect, right? These are literally students that at the end of January, this is when a lot of them were the first time they stepped into a professional kitchen. For the amount of time that we've been working on this, I think we're on week 16 right now. They've had 16 weeks in the kitchen to learn up to this step where they're at. So my focus is not really having the criticism from the public, because I'm the one who's criticizing to sort of hopefully get them to bring up their game and sort of, change things so that we can get a better dish and a better product, right?
So why do you? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No. Go ahead with your question there.
Why do you charge people for this?
Well, it's a little bit of cost recovery, right?
Okay.
The more food we use, the more dishes they can make, right? That's the more food we can bring in and buy. So with people coming in and getting to sample the food, as long as I'm covering the cost of the food, then that pays for everyone to be there, right?
So it's sort of an agreement that everyone understands when they go in there that the food is a bit cheaper and that it's a training restaurant. And so there's because this is really unusual. So unlike a normal restaurant, is no expectation that it's going to be perfect. It might be great, but there's no expectation. And also the customer is not the priority. The staff are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It kind of sounds backwards, right? And I know if you're a person coming there, like, well, why would I want to come there? And we want you to come there and enjoy and to see what these students are making.
Yeah.
The more the people come in, that's the more food they get to make, the more they get to hone their skills, right? The more time they get to spend, learning how to use a knife properly. And they also get to, because they're hands-on and they get to see the customer, they get a little bit of understanding about when they get out into the real industry, what the expectations are.
And so you mentioned that there is some interaction. Is it, first of all, are there waiters and waitresses?
No, as in usually one student will take on and do the service. So basically what happens is, because we're running in a cafeteria style,
Okay.
I basically have it set up. You come in there, you place an order with myself.
Okay.
I pass that order off to the student. So they get the chance of, like with a real restaurant, having chips and having to organize when plates come up. And so basically I'll call out the food to them. They are all behind the line working away, and they put the food together, place it up, and then one of the students brings it out to the customer.
So the staff, the customers order with you?
They order with me. It's all through me. So it's very, very close. You know, it's an open kitchen. So the students actually get to see the people eating the food and seeing them enjoy it. So it's a great, great win. And, you know, you get a chance to sort of sample some different dishes and try some different things.
So do you input it onto a system, or you just said you call it out? So how do you know how much to charge the customer?
Well, because it's all the preset menu every week, right? So as I said, I've got a soup. We always have a soup special, which is usually $5 for the soup with a scone. Of course, we got the classic sandwiches, so like a ham sandwich, turkey, egg salad, tuna sandwich. Those are the ones we sort of cycle through.
They're set prices, though.
Put in there. Yeah, that's like a $6.50 for a sandwich, which is a decent price.
That's a very decent price.
The other day, we're doing fish and chips for $14.
Oh, great. That's a great price.
And we get, and we're making fresh fries there. Like we make all our own fries to order. It's not like we're bringing them in pre-made. So everything's making fresh scratch in there. We made hamburgers the other day, and of course, they made their own patty. They baked their own bun for it. We made our own French fries, right? It really gave them that experience to be able to work together on those.
Oh, John, that sounds really, really interesting. Now, are you a Gordon Ramsay style figure? Are you giving them, are you berating them and giving them abuse? Or are you just in the background supporting them, which I suspect you are, or in the forefront supporting them?
There's moments that you have to raise your voice and be like, we need to get people focused on what they're doing. And so, I try and, but it's all about being supportive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on them learning the right skills and the right way to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked before on this podcast about people being abused in the system,
Yeah.
And I just want people to be in the right experience, right? And so being able to communicate, work as a team, like teamwork is so important there, being accountable for what you're doing. And then, of course, time management, which is something you can't get enough of in a kitchen, right?
Do you teach them much about what to expect in a kitchen that's positive, and almost warn them about negative environments? Because, the hospitality industry does have its fair share of negative environments. And it's one of those industries that kind of seems to get away with having a bit of an old school image sometimes in terms of the shouting in the kitchen. And is that something that you teach your students, how to communicate the modern, effective, professional way, or to look out for workplaces that aren't professional, or do you just teach them within the restaurant, by demonstrating it yourself?
I'm hoping I'm teaching them the right way through demonstration, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to showcase a positive environment for cooking. There's a lot of times that after a service, I make sure we do a bunch of high fives and stuff like that. Because you know what, in this environment, it's really easy to get down on yourself, and it's really hard. And there's a lot of pressure. So like being able to encourage people. There's a couple of times that, I have to come down on people because they've made some mistakes and I got to catch them before they do something wrong. But you know what? It's like, I'm always reminding them at the end of it, like, hey, you're allowed to make mistakes in this kitchen, right? Like this is part of the place. This is why you've come to this kitchen, and so that you can make mistakes, because I think you learn just as much from making a mistake as even doing it perfect the first time, right? So
from the point of we're learning to be on the phone here. From the point of view of the students, when did they start working in this restaurant? From when they started their course, and were they nervous?
Oh, you can see the nerves, and definitely from the very beginning. So like we started back in January, and it wasn't till around the end of March that we actually started the bistro. So this is what are we on? Like maybe 6 weeks of running the bistro or the cafe this way.
Yeah.
And so it's been really really interesting to see them develop. And like today was a perfect example of how they're getting much more confidence in there and feeling a
Right.
little bit more under control. Because like what I do is I come in on the Mondays is always our prep day. So we come in and we spend the day, and either we're doing an exam or I'm going over notes and covering a different topic. Like they were talking about fruit and the different qualities of fruits and different types of fruit. And then after that, we went right into the kitchen, and the students, I gave them a bunch of time to prep and organize themselves for the next 3 days. Well, I went through, they got everything done. They were caught up, and we were out of the class actually probably a good half an hour early today, because I think they started to figure out a few things, right?
Yeah.
They're getting much more organized. They're putting their stuff together, and they're communicating with each other, which is great, because I've got like, the group that's putting hamburgers together is over talking to the group that's making buns and being like, okay, so we're going to have this many hamburgers. So can we make sure we have that many buns? And
Wow.
they're
A great
working all
example
that out.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, we just want to know that we have enough product to cover what we do, right? And
Yeah.
it's not like we're doing huge numbers, right? Like on an average, we're probably maybe doing 30, 40 covers.
Okay.
For laymen. That's 40 customers at most each day. So, I mean, it's a good amount for a beginning crew, but there is also 11 of them. So, a lot of chefs out there would be like, that's an easy 1-2 person job to do that, right? But
Yeah.
hey, this is a learning experience. And you know what? It's school. So it's not like I want to put the high pressure on. It's not like they're collecting a paycheck for this, but we do encourage tips. And of course, those tips are all going to go back into doing some fun stuff for the students and getting them some neat stuff so that they can use it in their career as they move along.
So do they receive the tips, or is the tips to support the education?
They will receive the tips, but not as in cash. We're going to go, we're going to have a big dinner at the last day just to celebrate all the hard work. We're going to bring in I'm going to try and get them some different kitchen equipment and stuff like that. Stuff that they probably wouldn't want. They might go on and do a couple tours and stuff. So they get the money back. All the money's going to go back to them.
It's good though. It's good that
hard
it's
work.
not about money for them at this stage.
Yeah,
It's about them
exactly.
learning,
And
but they do get a reward.
Yeah, and it was like my last class. It was a level 2 class, but we combined with a Campbell River class, and we all went down to Victoria. We got to tour Cisco, Victoria. We went out for Chinese food for dinner. The big group of us and had a big feast. We had some ice cream cones, and then we did a tour of the Empress and came back and checked out Morningstar Farm to check out what they're doing with their cows and their cheese production there. So it was kind of a fun event for them, and it was a good night. We stayed down in Victoria and just had a great old time down there. So.
Where did you go in the Empress? Did you check out the kitchen?
We had the chef Isabel took us for a complete tour of the whole place. So we went down into the basement, up through the catering kitchen, into the main dining room. Like it was a full coverage. And she made us breakfast, which was even incredible, right?
Oh, it was in the morning?
Yeah, a real treat. Yeah, it was in the morning thing. So she came in, had breakfast. She talked about her career, how she got to the point where she is, her working with the Fairmont Hotel.
Yeah.
Going from Whistler to, where was she? Whistler to Hawaii, back to Victoria. Like it was a pretty neat, inspiring career path that she's taken. So.
That's so cool. And that's what a wonderful place the Empress is. Are many of the staff going to end up there, do you think? Is there any sort of partnerships you have with them?
I know, I'm going to say through the Culinary Association, one of our members actually just got a job there. He's actually a student at VIU, and it's sort of the same sort of thing. He heard about the job, went down there and applied it. He's going to be working there over the summer, which I think is going to be an amazing opportunity. I would love to have one of my students, if they were interested, I would definitely send them in the same direction. So,
is it competitive?
The restaurant industry?
No, sorry, just the Empress.
Just the Empress? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's a good place, but of course they're looking to take just as much as every other restaurant, especially good cooks, right?
Interesting, yeah.
Especially trained cooks, right? Who have a little bit of education behind them, and then are passionate, maybe want to go on and get a red seal.
And then do businesses like the education you do and like the level to which they're trained to when they arrive at their business?
Well, and I think that's something we have to look at with Port Alberni, because it's a little bit, because we have as they call it, the hum, the big hill to come over here to get into Port Alberni. It's kind of like a thing that stops people from leaving here. It is absolutely gorgeous down here. I was sitting at Sprout Lake at the end of the dock today, admiring the view, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, right? Like, it's one of those definite special places. Anyways, I just think a lot of the community doesn't get a chance to move out of here. So having this education here is super helpful, and it helps grow the community.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know you're probably going to say this, but I think like Port Alberni is that one untouched spot on Vancouver Island that is starting to really grow. So,
Great. Yeah. It's got a lot going for it, and the natural environment around it as well. And it's always had quite a hardworking, gritty kind of feel to it. And I think, like anywhere, it's got that sense of place, and it's finding itself in the modern world. I think that's fantastic. I've definitely got a soft spot for Port Alberni.
Well, I got to look at it too. It's an incredible community because all the infrastructure is here, right? Like they have a hospital, they've got the roads, they've got, all the activities. There's hockey going on here. Like just outside my window, there is the high school and everything that's happening around here. There's so much positive energy happening. I'm just floored and blown away what's happening here. So,
John, is there anything else you wanted to mention whilst we got you here?
Oh man, I've got probably hours of things to talk about, especially about my class, because I could literally go on about each one of the students, how they're just coming along and how they're growing and getting really, they are going to all become very good chefs or cooks, at least in this community. If not, some of them branching out to other places and maybe exploring the world, because, part of the joy of cooking is you can literally do it everywhere. And you've always got a talking point because everyone's going to tell you about their favorite meal, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, those are very true things. Well, you've certainly seemed to be enjoying this change of direction in your career. I mean, it's completely within your skill set, but also totally different. Taking on that education role, you seem to have taken to it like a duck to water.
It's fun, and I feel like whatever I'd planned to do with the podcast, with the Edible Valley here, with like doing that thing, this is like that one step closer to being able to do it all, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Being able to showcase and share, all the great things there are to do with the food, especially here on Vancouver Island, right?
Well, I think the format that we're doing with you calling in is really good. We're going to continue to refine it. I'll make sure that I can't hear the radio next time. And also, we're looking forward to actually going to some farms, visiting. We've now got the technology where we can actually do podcasts moving around on location, which I think is going to be super, super interesting. So we're really excited for that. We haven't been around as much recently. My real estate business has been going from strength to strength. And so I've been busy.
I was going to say, do we have an opportunity for you to tell us what's going on with you with real estate? Because you kind of went from getting by, and then now things are getting a little crazy for you.
I'll be very brief, but I've joined a team now, or I've formed a team with Ross McDyer, fellow Brit as it happens. He is a northerner, but no one's perfect. And we realized that we do business in a very, very similar way. He is unbelievably intelligent. He's got a master's and a bachelor at University of Cambridge, top 5 in the world university. Didn't know that when we formed a team. He's so smart. So it's a real pleasure working with him. And, we're really into heavy marketing. We've got a number of marketing campaigns we roll out for each property. We make darn sure that we earn our commission by ensuring that we work very, very hard to get that place sold. We're literally looking at every process and saying, right, that's how it's done now. How can we make it better? Can we break it and do it again and make it even better? Always getting more value for our clients and working hard for it. So it's a real pleasure, and we're definitely busy. We've got lots of clients, and that's a wonderful thing.
That's good to hear. I'm glad things are working out for you. I just wish we didn't have to do this such far away from each other.
I know. Yeah. Well, look, when will I see you? You will be around. You'll be back around, and and we will continue the podcast. I think going out on farms is going to be super fun. So, let's just, say thank you very much for joining us today. It's been really great having you on board with the Edible Valley podcast, the first ever one done on the phone. As always, thank you to 98.9 Jet FM, the Comox Valley's best rock, for lending us your studio and also hearing us on your website, which is My Comox Valley now. Tons of good local podcasts you can find on there and interesting things from the station as well. So thank you very much to 98.9 Jet FM. And John, thank you for joining us from Port Alberni.
I love it. Anytime, Will. You know my number now, and as soon as you want video off in the background, this will be a lot more fun.
And you know it, your ABC. Say everything up to 8. Go on, just for the old time's sake.
Do I have to sing it or just straight up?
Yes, I want the beginning song and then taper off.
A, B, C, D, G, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
You really did start to get quite annoyed. It was funny. I was enjoying it. It was a shame when it... Anyway, Mr. John, down the line, but thank you very much indeed. And we will see you again for the next episode of the Edible Valley podcast.